All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for Clash in Italy. Sorry if I sound a little low. It's my allergies are really messing with me. Pollen in my area is this big, guys. For the last couple of days, I had to walk through pollen this damn big. Look how wide my finger is. It's not small. And pollen being that big, my allergies are messing with me. I took my medicine, but I'm very tired. I've been sneezing as well, so I'm tired. So if I don't seem very energetic or enthusiastic, it's not because I'm not. I'm just sick with allergies. But let's get to this show. To be honest, maybe I am a little low on energy, not just because of my allergies, because it's exactly what we knew was going to happen. I think that's generally. I want to make this very clear. Yes, I have allergy problems. Yes, I've been sneezing. I feel like I want to just fall out, particularly I took my medicine. I just want to sleep or hope that I can just sneeze it all away. But if you look at what we've been getting from the product, and that's how they see it, a product, not wrestling, a product, that's the major issue we got right now when it comes to WWE. We pretty much have a product. They don't care about wrestling anymore. They're doing this. And everything that you see in this show is a testament to that. What did we get? We got 2 rematches from WrestleMania. We get a match that pretty much we knew it was going to go. We also knew that it's not going to help the product, as they would say it. It's not going to help wrestling for WWE. Let's open with Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Championship. I did not expect Cody to drop it here. And I expected to be some type of screwy ending, and there was one. Now, if you guys remember, Gunther has had this controversy before. I don't remember which match it was, but he had a controversy where the last time he had a situation, something similar to this, it was, I think Jey Uso. Was it Jay or was it CM Punk? I can't remember. I think it might have been CM Punk. He faced him. He felt like it was CM Punk. He faced him. He thought that he tapped him out, but the ref didn't see the tap, and he lost. He lost. He thought he won. He lost. I do believe it was CM Punk. So, we got another controversy when it comes to Gunther. Of course, they wanted to protect him, but the point here is another controversy with Gunther. They want to protect him as much as they can. They want to keep him in the position as much as they can. He can perform in the ring. He does a good job. But do we care about this situation where it's always something with Gunther? They want to push him since he took out pretty much John Cena, AJ Styles, and Mr. Goldberg himself. Mr. Goldberg. It's just, this is what we get. And the problem here is this. I don't hate Gunther. I like Gunther. He wrestles well. I like him. But the way they pushed him into the main title scene with no real challengers that mean anything feels empty. Same thing for Cody. Look at what we get with Cody. Cody comes out with that mask. I'm not putting any images in here. My allergies are really messing with me. So seeing him come out with that mask, I knew there was going to be something. I know they showed a image of him having one of the eyes out of the mask removed because of what happened with Randy Orton. Corey Graves talked about it. And Corey Graves is a movie star. A decade ago, he did a classy movie. And they wanted to rub it in his face for fun. I'm not against Corey Graves. It's fine. And he did a movie. Good for him. But, why do we care about hearing him say it was down the road? I don't care. But what I do care about, we got Cody, we got Gunther, and it really didn't matter who won. Because in the end, we're going to have the same problem as we have right now in WWE. No real stars. We don't have any other stars that really feel relevant. The men's division is irrelevant in most cases. Doesn't matter if you're Raw or SmackDown. It feels empty. So I didn't expect anything great to come from here. Yeah, I knew they were going to have a decently good match. And Cody, I knew he was going to win. There's no way Cody was going to lose here. Of course he was going to win. Now we're going to do a story between him and Sami Zayn. And you're going to say, I'm sure people would say, dude, Sami's a star. No, he's not. He was a star with the Usos, with Roman Reigns, with Solo Sikoa. But now he isn't. He feels empty. He just does. He feels empty, and that's the problem with most of the people on the roster. They're not giving them anything to work with. Remember, as I've stated, and many of you who watch this, counting on whatever is left, because pretty much YouTube and they're changing the algorithm brought me from not really high here, like here, not here, like here, I'm here. Just in case, and hi, thank you for watching. But the thing here is this. If you remember, lower card, mid card, upper card, main event, and in most cases you got stories with them. What stories do you have right now? Not very compelling ones. Hell, the only story that we had in WWE is not even in WWE. Technically. It's in Mexico. We just had, and I haven't seen the match yet. I'm actually, when I get a chance, I'm going to see the match. I won't do a review of it. I'm just going to watch it. The Mask versus Mask, a Grande Americano versus the original Grande Americano. That is the only story we've had that legitimately had some interest, real interest, and wasn't on the show. It was in AAA, when it should have been on the show. Yeah, moving on. Jade versus Rhea Ripley. Here's the thing. This wasn't about Rhea. It wasn't. Look, I've always stated Jade really has not been developed very well as a professional wrestler. She still needs work. A lot of people love Jade because she's like this, she's like this, she's gorgeous. She's this, she's strong. No one's taking anything away from her. She's a beautiful woman that's strong. Yes. But as a professional wrestler, she's not balanced. She does not great promo work. She doesn't go very well in the ring. And the way she sells, and I do agree with JD, she overemphasizes selling. She really does. Now, does that mean I hate her? No. But it's obvious what you get with Jade. Jade is not really a great professional wrestler. And her relevance when she was holding a title wasn't that great either. So what did I think? Rhea wasn't jobbing. She's not going to job. But here's the thing. Rhea was given that title. And at this moment, the only story she could really have is with Liv Morgan. Liv is the only other star with her. She's the only other star. We don't have Bianca Belair because she's pregnant right now. So she can't go. Naomi is pregnant. I think she's nearly at the point of giving childbirth. So she's not there. The only other two women down on the roster you could think of that she can go up against. When it comes to Jade, the only thing that matters is her and Charlotte. And that's what we got. Look what happened. The baddies, now they're using the name the baddies there, pretty much come out near the end of the match and pretty much try to mess up the match. You got B-Fab trying to grab a little bit of the leg of let me give it to you like this. When Charlotte comes out, she basically does the same thing as B-Fab does and grabs the leg of a Rhea just like B-Fab grabbed the leg of a Jade. And this was all about Jade and Charlotte having their moment. It's coming. They're going to do SummerSlam, either night 1 or 2. It is coming. They're willing to start doing this. And I'm going to be honest here. Here's the issue. There is no way Charlotte is going to get Jade Cargill over. She's not going to be able to do it. And I want to make this very clear. People are going to say, well, it's all Jade's fault. No, not completely. And let's make it clear. Jade is not a great wrestler. She's an okay wrestler. And so is Charlotte, a good wrestler. Here's an okay wrestler. Here's a good wrestler. But let's make it clear. Charlotte's not her dad. And I've said this for years upon years. Everyone says she's one of the best. She's not. She cannot put people over. If you look at her track record legitimately, every person that is a main eventer was already better than her. Becky was better than her. Sasha was better than her. Asuka was better than her. Let's make it very clear. The ones that she's worked with beforehand, you usually watch and see the matches she had with them. They're not good. Tiffany Stratton was better than her and could not get over because of Charlotte. Trinity Fatu, a little bit of Naomi, she couldn't get over not until she got good. And I'm a fan of Naomi. I've been a fan of her when she was a Funkadactyl. I never made the playlist, but if you look back over 10 years, I've talked about Naomi being better than what she was, and she deserved better. But she couldn't get over. So what I see with Jade Cargill, it ain't happening. It is not going to happen. Jade Cargill will not get over with Charlotte. They think it's going to happen. It is not going to happen. She'll stay exactly as she is. She's like just around average to sometimes below average because of her selling. Moving on. Next match. Brock Lesnar versus Femi, a rematch. Oh boy. Here's the thing. We knew this was going to happen. We knew it. I know that the person that might be like, why, might be just Alex. Alex, I think, is going to go, why? Why did they do that? Or he'll say, maybe. I knew this was going to happen, that Brock had to get the win, get his win back so they can go over to SummerSlam to have the final match, and then Brock Lesnar can retire. But I have this feeling that Brock is not going to retire. And when that third match happens, I don't know if Brock's going to sell. I think Brock may not sell. I could be wrong, and I'll be fine if I'm wrong. But let's make it very clear. Brock should have lost. He should have lost to Femi again. And that he got so angry he had to do a final match where if he really is, excuse me, allergies. He really is retiring. Oh, I told you I got allergy problems, even with my medicine. But I want to make it very clear. He should have lost here. And then out of rage, he demands one more match. And if he really is retiring at SummerSlam, he truly puts over Femi. Now, I know there's going to be other people saying, well, it didn't hurt Femi. Well, it didn't help him either. It didn't. You just gave Femi one of the strongest wins at a WrestleMania in years. And now, even though he looked great, look how many F5s. He took 7 F5s. 7. And he had a Kimura lock put on his right arm just to make him weak enough. And one of those F5s was on the announce table outside. And he no-selled it. And on the 7th F5 is when he finally sold it. Now, many people would say, well, there you go. He looked great there. It would have been better if Brock lost. If Brock Lesnar is finally retiring this year at SummerSlam, if the third match should have been a final match where Brock lost. Again, it should have been the loss of WrestleMania, the loss in Clash of Italy, and loss at SummerSlam. Just out of pure rage. He never loses. Remember, guys, over the decade, we have seen Brock Lesnar never lose. He's put people through tables. He's F5'd everybody where they had to do 2 or 3 matches to try and get back maybe one win, or just to accept the fact that they could never beat Brock and they lost 3 times to him. 2 or 3 times. And in this situation, Brock needed to be humbled. Truly humbled. He had to lose here and then lose at SummerSlam. And that, I don't believe, is going to happen. I believe he may win at SummerSlam. And like I said, I could be wrong. I'm fine with being wrong. But that's the way it looks. But that's just me. Let's move on. But let's go to the match that I was the most disappointed about. The IC Championship match. Becky versus... Let me give it to you like this. I've seen Soul since she went on the main roster of NXT. I always said that Soul... I loved Soul. When I saw her before, I thought she was beautiful. But also, I liked her. She has a personality, which doesn't go with her music. I'm being honest here. I despise her music. I despise it. They overemphasized the Surfer song that she originally had, which was at least similar to her personality. Now they tried to make it way overemphasized. And it's garbage. But, make it very clear. I liked Soul. One of the things I always had a complaint about is the ratio between wrestling, knowing how to wrestle, and her gymnastics. It was always like this. And I always thought she needed to bring that sucker back a little bit, to have a little bit more wrestling, a little less of gymnastics. Which she could still do it, but try to emphasize more about pro wrestling. Well, my assumption was correct. If you don't notice, since she's come to the main roster, her gymnastic work has gotten sloppy. Due to the fact they don't have live events. Remember, NXT, they make you constantly work at the Performance Center and go in front of the crowds. Here, she's on the main roster. She's not required to go and exercise the way she usually does, like at the Performance Center. Now, doesn't mean that she can't still go to the Performance Center, but she's on the road now. She's not in one place anymore. She's not at the Performance Center. So, getting into cardio is not enough. The Performance Center is where she could always make sure that she could get into gymnastic ability. And now there's no live events right now, even though they may be considering bringing them back. Limited. It shows. She has become sloppy. Flat out sloppy. And it's not her fault, mostly. How is she going to be able to work on gymnastic work? She can't just go to a gym to do gymnastics all the time. To do flat out, straight, hard gymnastics like she could do in a ring. She can't do it. So now, when you see her just trying to do a springboard backflip outside the ring, she got caught up in the ring ropes. If she's been able to practice in a ring, like in NXT at the Performance Center, she wouldn't have a problem. She can't do it anymore. Unless she can get some time in while practicing there. I mean, they do let them work in the ring, but you got over 40 or 50 people who want to work the ring, and you may not have the time to do it. At the Performance Center, you probably could get the time because the schedule will allow for it, but you're traveling, going from one place to another, and it shows. The last couple of times we've seen her on the roster of Raw, she's been sloppy. She couldn't even hit her own signature move anymore. Look, guys. At the very end of that match, Becky had to grab her, throw her up onto the second turn rope to help her do Soul Snatcher. I'm sorry. You're going to say, dude, you're looking too much into it. Watch the last part of that match yourself. You could see that she literally threw her into the ring ropes to do the move. Soruka looks bad, and I believe it's going to get worse as time goes on. You're going to see her, unless she can find a way to be able to get in more gymnastic work, she's going to have to decide to start transitioning a little bit more over to regular wrestling and wrestling holds. Drop kicks are fine. Her headlocks are fine. Her takeovers are fine. Her suplexes are fine. But when you go for the gymnastics, she's getting sloppy. Flat out. There's no lying about it. Live events are not on the schedule like they used to be. So she can't practice to continue to keep up her skill. It shows. Yes, she won the match, which I expected her to win. I didn't expect Becky to win here. I expected Soul to win. I don't know about anybody else, but that's what I thought. Because Soul is that over, they want to sell merch, so they're going to give her that damn title now. Which they did. And I'm sure Jessica Carter is going to be an issue with Becky still. But the big question here is, what are they going to do with a ref that she keeps getting stuck with that constantly makes her lose, in her mind? Are they going to have a match? Is Jessica Carver, Carver? I keep forgetting her name. Are they going to have a match? Is there going to be a match happening between her and Becky? Because it looks like that's what it's going to have to come down to. That a ref having a problem with a wrestler, sooner or later, either the ref gets taken out, or there's going to be a match, or the ref screws over the wrestler, and the ref becomes a wrestler. Something. Moving on. Third match. That's the fourth match. Well, we're on number 5. I miscounted. Excuse me. Told you, allergies are getting me. Before we get to the final match, Tribal Combat, let me say this. Did we get less advertisement this time around? Not too much advertisement, but it was still too much for me personally. I think we got about 16 or 17 different advertisements for, not counting WWE. I think at least that much. When you watch, we got about 5 dead airs or 4 dead airs. Again, as you can see, my allergies are messing with me. You can even hear them in my throat. Excuse me. But you got maybe about 16 advertisement with about maybe 5 or 8 advertisements for WWE. And then we got about 4 dead airs, I think. I'm not saying I like it. I hate it. I can't stand it, but it's what we're stuck with. I thought I'd still say it. Let's move on. Tribal Combat. Let's make this very clear. I didn't expect Roman to lose here. There is no way they're going to let him lose. That's it. I know this takes it out of the equation, but it's about how exciting can you make a match that you predict and know flat out 100% is going to go a certain way. It's just no way it can go any other way than Roman winning. But the big question was, could they make it exciting? And generally they did. It was all right. In the end, Roman had to, turnbuckle removed. Actually, he removed out of the 4 turnbuckles, he removed 3 of them. And he hammered about 10 times a Jacob Fatu into one turnbuckle. Where the turnbuckle would have been, pretty much to the ring, to the head, 10 times. And then, 2 Superman punches, maybe 1 spear. It took that much to beat a Jacob Fatu who generally didn't even need anything to help him. He was that dominant, but I didn't expect him to win. It's obvious they don't want Roman to lose here because of one reason. It's the only story they have. The Bloodline storyline has now been reinstated, and it's the only story the company has. And I'm sure people will say, there are many stories. No. Like I've said, for more than a year, you only had 2 stories on WWE television. The Judgment Day and the Bloodline. You took out the Judgment Day and, it was a Bloodline. Sorry, that's not meant to be disrespectful. But You had the Judgment Day, you had Bloodline, you only had the Bloodline left, and then you took that away, and you didn't build new storylines. You didn't build new factions. Nothing. The only new faction they have is Fatal Influence for the women. What did they have for the men? Did they bring up Dark State? Nope, because they knew Dark State is shit. Do you think they're going to bring up Birthright? Birthright is still not ready yet. So they have no other stories. Every story they have in WWE TV and Raw and SmackDown are weak. They're small stories that in most cases either go away for a little while and they bring them back, or they're very, very short. So what we have now is only Bloodline story. That's it. And what does this really give us? Jacob Fatu now, what has happened? He now lost. And instead of, if you wanted to try and make the story interesting, let Jacob win and let the WWE go and burn down with him as a tribal chief, you kept the establishment. You kept Roman Reigns. And yes, you had the My Family Tree, the MFTs, that are standing there looking at Jacob saying, what did I tell you? You Solo going like, what we get? What did we get here? We get Solo, who's now going to fall in line, maybe. Or is he not going to fall in line? That's the only story we have for this Monday. That's over at what? Turin, Italy. On Monday. That's the only story we have. What is Jacob going to do? Is he really going to fall in line? Is he going to go with the MFTs? Is he going to go off in a different direction? That's not much of a story. And yes, I really like Jacob Fatu. I honestly do. But this is not about Jacob. This is not about Roman. This is not about Jimmy or Jay or Solo and his group. It's about the story itself. We had an over 4-year story that was stopped for several months, for almost a whole year. And now they brought it back, and there's nothing else. You have no one built up to be able to deal with the bloodline. And you're going to say Uber Femi. Uber Femi is not ready. And even if he was ready, then what? Yeah, you could have Uber Femi beat Roman, but then what? You still have the same problem that the story has to revolve around the bloodline. There's only one story. And they used to do at least 6 stories that were maybe 2 major and maybe 4 minor. That was either divided between Raw and SmackDown. 1 story on each, where there were majors, and maybe 2 stories extra. There's nothing there, guys. We got no real stories on either show. And yes, the wrestling could be alright. The people could be talking fine. Maybe we'll have a bit of a story. The only major story, like I said, was a Grande Americano versus the original Grande Americano in a mass versus mass match that should have happened here. The match versus mass match should have happened here instead of on AAA because they built it here. Generally. It's been on regular WWE TV, not in AAA, but they let them have the match down there when it should have been here. This is not a bad show. Good wrestling, somewhat alright storytelling, but honestly, nothing changed. Yes, Soul won, but I'm not surprised because Soul's very popular right now and they want to sell large amounts of merch, and that's what they care about. And they're not going to end it between her and Becky. So you're going to be seeing all of this for a while. Even though I'm glad Soul won, I want to make this clear. I'm not against Soul. I still love Soul, but let's make it clear. Her work has now become sloppy because she can't really do gymnastics anymore like she used to at the Performance Center. They need to bring back live events to give her and everyone else time to really build up. They don't have to do 200 days in a year. Just do half that, and that'll make sure the roster works, but it's just me. Peace!